everybody. How are you doing? Let me know in comments where you're watching from and what you are drinking this fine afternoon on Wednesday. All right. Good afternoon, Angela. Nice to have you on from Georgia, which is not too far from me. Latanya, you're watching from work. Nice to have you. Annette, nice to have you from Detroit, not New Jersey, South Jersey. Green tea. Nice to have you. For those who don't know, I'm in Georgia. Let's see. Janine, nice to have you on from Dallas, Jonesboro, Constance, Georgia, not too far from me either. Harper Woods, Michigan. I think MI is Michigan. I am geographically challenged, which I think is just so funny. Columbia, South Carolina. Nice to have you on, Latanya. Iridice, hopefully I pronounced your name right. Palmer, Yolanda, St. Louis, Pamela, Denver Airport, heading home. Well, welcome back when you get here. Loretta, Delaware. Listen, what I want to do is just stop and say thank you for spending your lunch hour with me, and for those who are not in the lunch hour, your morning or afternoon with me. This has been we've hosted a season a little bit different than I've traditionally done my live trainings, and I really have enjoyed the last 7 weeks with you all. So Michelle, nice to have you from Atlanta, right down the street from me. Tampa, Florida. Laurel, Cynthia. So my goal was to make sure that I do justice by welcoming those people that join live, because I think over the last several years I've done a really bad job of that. So hopefully you have felt welcome with our CEO travel sessions. And I'm just super excited that you guys are here. And I want to just tell you that today we are going to be tackling one of the biggest time wasters that travel advisors and people in the industry do. And that is really around the myth of posting more content equals more clients. And, you know, I have been in the online space for a minute now. I'd say that I officially launched in the online space in 2016, and I was new to the online space. So, you know, back then when I started in 2016, I was learning all about digital marketing, and I was learning about this whole concept of content. And still, that was back in 2016, what I had learned was, you know, you need to be visible. You need to be posting. You need to be posting 3 or 4 times a day. And I did what I normally do, which is when I learn something, I apply it, I act. So I'll never forget when I learned that I was supposed to be posting 3-5 times a day. I went to Google. I was using Excel at the time, and I created a spreadsheet. And I created, you know, 3 posts per day. I had this whole matrix, and I just started. I didn't have my own community. I was in other people's Facebook. My first group that I was in was Black-owned businesses, Bob. I'll never forget that. And I was in another big group back then. It was women's entrepreneurs, or entrepreneurs for women. And it had, like, you know, I was awed by it. It had, like, you know, hundreds of thousands of people. And I was like, this is my jam. Like, this is where I need to, like, show up and show out and start posting. And I was in a couple of other groups, and I had this spreadsheet, and I was posting 3 to 5 times a day. I did that for like 3 weeks, and I was like, this is some straight up BS. I was posted. I was tied to Facebook. I was in that group, and I was working a full-time job. So back in 2016, I was working a full-time job. And I was coaching salon owners at the time. And I was like, this can't be the way. This cannot be my existence. Like, I was burnt. I was like, this is some straight up BS. Like, who thought of this? Because I was posting, I was interacting with people, and I did that, and it didn't lead to more sales, but it did lead to burnout. Like, I was exhausted. I think I started it for like 3 weeks, but then I'm not a quitter. So I kept going, and I was like, and then I do it. And then I started getting confused as to what I was going to post, and did I post this? Should I keep posting that? I don't know. Like, and I still see that advice. Like, how many of you guys out there feel like you got to post every day and that's going to get you clients? It did not yield me more clients. So I quickly abandoned that strategy after some multiple months of doing that. And I said, this is not the way that I want to go. It absolutely got me on a hamster wheel. And this is before I even really understood like how to build content strategically. So I'm racking my brain every week because I only knew how to build content a week at a time. Like, so I did I was with my 3 posts, I have my spreadsheet, and then I had to come up with images because this is before I really understood how to use my graphic artist. Like, Jan was with me then, but I still didn't know what to do. I was like, I don't want to trouble her with my three posts. And what's cute, what's cute is that those posts still, because I posted them on my personal page, so I still get those posts coming up in my timeline. I don't repost them, but the madness still reminds me of how mad I was back then. And so I thought this was a great way for us to end the season, is that if you're also exhausted by the content hamster wheel and you have little to show for it, then today is the lesson and the training to listen to, because I'm going to really focus on why, you're wasting your time posting all of that content nonsensical. And I don't mean to because I get it. I've done the work. But it really is not strategic if you aren't getting bookings from it. So by the end of today's session, my goal is that you really understand what you need to be doing that's going to get you the results that you want, which is to attract, right? So if you are creating content, your objective, one of the objectives that you have is either to attract strangers to your business, relate to them in a meaningful way, or ask them to convert, right? Ask for the sale. You're selling something, you want a lead, you want some sort of conversion. And so what you need is probably a content strategy around that, and having a clear strategy so that you don't have to create more content. You just need to create the right type of content so that you can generate the business that you want. And so, I'm going to break down today why posting more, that mentality is for the birds, and that it's just keeping you busy, but it's not keeping you profitable. And that content we want actually converts to bookings, right? Or converts to leads that ultimately people will know who you are and you will get visible so that you can ultimately convert them to bookings. So we want to create strategic content, and we want to create a strategic content plan that attracts the type of client that you want to work with, right? Without consuming your life. How many of you don't want to be consumed? I mean, don't get me wrong, 2016, fast forward to 2025. So that's almost been 10 years. Oh my gosh, it's almost been 10 years. So, I'm in year 9 of doing content, and I've tried a lot of different strategies. I've done a lot of different types of content. And I literally have a lot of different content strategies. And most of them, until I started being super strategic about my content, were absolutely exhausting. Because even though I talk about this, and even though it seems like it's okay, I don't like doing video. I show up with you guys every week, but it's not my favorite thing to do. I enjoy this interaction, but I don't wake up thinking, gosh, I got to create a video today. That's not my thing. I don't really like to be I'm a social person, but I don't really like social media. So it's not my favorite activity. I like to write, but I don't like to think of blog posted. So marketing in it of itself is not my favorite thing to do. How many of you guys feel like that? I know it's a necessary, it's a necessary thing to get to the end goal, but I don't love doing it. It's not what I do love though is I love cracking the nut. I love figuring out the things that are going to work for me, but it doesn't necessarily mean I like doing it. I was and I'm just going to derail just a second. I was in the salon, in the beauty industry for years, 10, 15 years, pretty much all my life. But I don't beautification. I hate getting my hair done. I hate getting my nails done. I don't like the act of the beauty process. Same thing with marketing. I like the results of marketing. I like getting clients. I like interacting with people. I love meeting people, but I don't like the act of marketing. So I'm your person, because I can tell you all the things that I don't like, but I can tell you the things that if you focus on these few things, then you can get to what you want, which is you want to get more clients. You want to get your message in front of the people that you want to work with and not spin your wheels in the process. So what we're going to do is I'm going to be as direct as I always am, is posting more content If it was the key to success, I'd be a millionaire already. You'd be a millionaire. You'd clients that you knew what to do with. So we know that that strategy is not great, right? Because we know it hasn't yielded results, right? And what I will also tell you is just because you have a lot of followers doesn't mean that you're going to be booked solid. So I know of many people who have, not just in the travel industry, but in all sorts of industry that have a lot of followers, but they don't convert those followers into paying clients. So just because you have a big following, you got a lot of people on your TikTok page viewing your videos, if they're not converting into clients and you want clients, then you're wasting your time. So I see a lot of advisors who are like, you know what, I need to start, I need to go viral. I need to spend a lot of time building up a followers. I've got to get a lot of people liking my post. And don't get me wrong. I remember when I first started, so I'm take you back to when I first started on Facebook, and I remember doing my first, and this is like one of my favorite stories, because I remember doing my first Facebook ad. It was for the barbershop. It was actually for my salon at the time. And so it was a little, because we had a natural hair salon. And so it was a silhouette of a black woman with an afro, and then it said below, it said hair salon. And I remember posting that, and I was just like on my every minute, like at my computer, seeing how many people liked the post, right? Seeing how many people who liked the business. This is before the algorithm was the way it is now. And so I would look at the post and be like, how many people liked it? And I would judge my entire existence by how many people liked the post. And frankly, likes don't get you money. Likes don't get you clients. Those don't translate into, so they're vanity metrics. So people liking your stuff is not what you want. People sharing your stuff, frankly, is not what you want. What you want are clients. You want clients that are going to take the action that you want, which is to reply to your post or, download your freebie or interact with you in a way that's meaningful so you can capture the traffic and then target them again. We want content that's going to get people to, one, see us, two, interact with us, and ultimately take us to do the action that we want to do. So we don't want to spend hours doing a bunch of stuff just for the sake of doing stuff, because most of you all have full-time jobs, right? Most of you all have lives beyond creating content. So every hour that you spend creating content that doesn't convert is an hour that you have spent on activities that prevent you from spending on activities that actually get you money, right? And so listen, I've analyzed over 200 travel advisors. Like, I've done a study, and here's what I find. That the most successful ones post 60 to 70% less than those that are struggling. Those that are struggling are following strategies that keep them busy, aren't getting them the results that they want. So I want that to sink in for a minute. Advisors that post less are making more money than advisors that post more, right? Particularly if you're posting and you don't have a strategy behind your posting. And so the problem isn't that you aren't posting enough. It's that you're creating the wrong type of content that has no behind it. So what we're going to talk about today is, how do you change that? How do you make sure that everything that you post has a purpose behind it? And I'm going to show you how to create content that actually converts clients into paying clients, how to convert content into clients. So this time I hope I am launching our first poll that is the right poll. How many social media posts do you guys traditionally post weekly? On average, 0 to 1, 2 to 5, 6 to 10, more than 10. I like to see you all, and I'm going to end the poll once we get to at least half of you all answering. We have about 30 people who are on live. Just a little bit more people answer the poll, and then I can tell you what the majority is. All right, we're at a little over half. So I'm going to end it now. All right, so it's a little neck and neck. About 47% of you are doing 0 to 1 posts. For those that are doing 0 to 1 posts, are you seeing any visibility at all? Because you can't do nothing to get something. But those the close second at 41% is 2 to 5, And then we've got about 12% who are doing 6 to 10. And so I'm going to sort of ask a follow-up without doing a poll is, are you seeing results from that? And the results that I want to understand are you getting leads from that? Are you getting engagement? Are you like getting people responding to that? Are you seeing results from the content that you're posting? Because here's what I will tell you. Of the people, so Janine says she gets some, she's doing about 4 a week. Dottie says very little results, not much in responses. Martine says negative. Constance says that she's getting some engagement, a little, right? So the reality is, and so, not having the time to evaluate what kind of content that you're doing, I'm going to give you an example of one of the clients that who came to me, Melissa. She came to me completely burned out with doing content. She was posting 3 to 5 times a week across multiple platforms. Beautiful destination, right? How many of you guys have heard BranchUp? How many of you guys are using BranchUp as your content source? Don't get me wrong. And when I talk about BranchUp, I get a lot of people sliding in my DMs talking about BranchUp has got beautiful content, right? And, you use BranchUp and they've got beautiful destinations. They've got great travel tips, traveler supplier promotions. And she was doing the most. And it looks like based on some of the comments in the comments, that's some of what you guys are doing, right? So you're posting about all of this stuff. And Melissa was doing the same thing. And it allowed her to get more followers, right? So she's on Instagram and, hold on, I gotta make sure I don't lose video here. Make sure I'm still plugged in. She grew her Instagram follower by posting all these great destinations. So like if you're on TikTok and you're doing the TikTok thing, right? So you're getting a lot of followers, right? Another vanity thing. And Melissa, she's like doing this like, cause she knows, right? You got to do content, you got to post, and she's doing all this stuff and she's growing her followers and she's feeling good about herself. But when she looks at her numbers, she was only at about 1% of the followers that she had turned into bookings. So again, the numbers, you got to follow the numbers, right? So what we had to do is we actually had to transform the approach that she was using. So instead of posting daily, what we had her do is we had her focused on creating high value pieces of content that really showcased her expertise, that focused on on her approach to travel planning. So she stopped posting the BranchUp type of content, right? Which is generic at most around destinations, that really talks about the destination and showcases them and the destinations and potential suppliers, as opposed to focusing on her and the content that's going to position her as a specialist in luxury family travel. That was her specialty. So within 60 days of us looking at her process and really revamping her strategy for content, she actually stopped posting less. But what she did see is that her inquiry rate increased by 60%. So more importantly, the quality of the inquiries increased as well. So instead of her attracting price shoppers, she was attracting the type of client that specifically mentioned her expertise, which is what we were positioning. So what we really want you to do is we want you to focus on the content that showcases you as the travel advisor, the go-to travel advisor for your specialty. So all of you all should be specializing in a type of person that has a particular type of need. And based on their type of need, that's what we need to showcase, right? We want to position you as the expert. And so her average ticket, her booking value went up from $3,800 to $5,800 because she was also working less, right? So she got more inquiries allowed her to close more deals, and that's what we want for you as well. So here's the reality. It doesn't matter what people are telling you that you need to be everywhere at every time. What I really want you to do is get off the wheel, get off the hamster wheel, and I want you to really focus on not constantly creating just for the sake of creating. We want to create a model that's strategic. And so those advisors that know that, they aren't content creators. Unless you want to become a content creator, I would still say that you need to be strategic in that content creation. You want to be strategic business owners, and you want to use content as a tool, not as a job. So when I was posting 3 to 5 times a day, and it was more like 3 times a day, 5 days a week. So it was like 15 pieces of content, but I didn't have Facebook ads. So I'm like trying to be in Facebook groups. There is a strategy that says back in the day that you should join as many groups and you should add value in the groups. And that was the strategy I followed. So I was in different groups posting 3 or different times all throughout the day in addition to my thing, right? That's not a strategy. That is a job, because it took me hours per day to do that and do that correctly. So travel advisors who understand how to do that, how to understand the value of being visible, they understand that just doing content for the sake of doing content is a full-time job that that isn't going to get you to conversions. We want content that's going to get you conversions. So you don't need a big following. I tell people having a big following is great, but that following better be of the people that you want. I know people who create Facebook groups, and their Facebook groups, they're like, I've got thousands of people in my Facebook group, right? They do like a free trip offer, and they got a bunch of people in their Facebook group that doesn't get you bookings. And so I'd rather you have 500 followers that know you, that like you and trust you as an expert than 5,000 followers that have liked your pretty pictures on TikTok, right? Or your pretty videos on TikTok. So here are the 3 main things that I want you to take away from today's session, right? What I want to do is make sure that you understand that the reason why most advisors fail to convert with content is that they're focused on destinations rather than their expertise, right? The destination isn't the selling point, it's your expertise. So particularly if you want to charge for planning fees, design fees, you have services that you want to charge for, the destination is the product. Your service should be front and center, and how you deliver that service. So even though posting sunset photos seems really cool, or generic travel tips seems really great, you're actually training your audience to see destinations as the star as opposed to you. You and your unique value is what you're selling. People are buying you because frankly, they can go anywhere if destinations is the star. So stop promoting destinations as the thing that everyone should be focused on. This creates a problem for you. And what this does is it teaches people that they want to visit destinations, but it doesn't show them how you can actually plan their trip to get them there. You've got to create desire around your services, not only desire around the destination, right? So what you're doing by posting just about destinations is that people are getting all revved up around Jamaica, Dubai, and Bali, but they're not getting revved up around you getting them to Bali or you getting them to Dubai, right? Does that make sense? They may be inspired to travel, but they have no compelling reason to book with you as a result. You've just given them another pretty picture that they can save, right? So here's the shift. This shift is pretty simple. Content needs to position you as an irreplaceable answer to this question. Why would someone need to book with me instead of planning it themselves or using another advisor? That's what your content needs to answer. So here's the framework that you need to use. All right. Instead of focusing on posting frequency, successful advisors focus on a content strategy. And here's a 3-part strategy for you to do. First, position yourself as the expert. Content should highlight your unique approach, insider knowledge, or specialized process, not just destination. So for example, instead of posting about 10 things to do in Bali, you would do content that would say, how do I create authentic culture experiences in Bali that most tourists missed, right? So that connects people with, oh, what is she doing that I may be missing? Or the other advisor who talked to me about The second thing is that you want to showcase your unique value. Demonstrate that specific benefits clients get when they book with you alone. That's something that they're only going to get through you. This might include before and after comparisons of a standard itinerary done without you and one that looks like what it looks like after you've applied your approach to it, or client stories that highlight problems you solved that they couldn't have handled on their own. Right? There's lots of ammunition to do that when you think about COVID and what travel advisors did in the space and still what we do in the space. Third part of this framework is create content that qualifies clients. So I don't want budget freebie seekers, right? So your content should naturally attract your ideal client. So if you want families, stop posting solo trip travel information, right? If you want a particular client, make sure that the content naturally filters out the others that aren't a good fit. So for example, here's how you could do that. If you specialize in luxury family travel, your content should speak directly to the concerns and desires of those parents, not budget travelers. You shouldn't be saying $1,500 on your last budget deal, right? That shouldn't be what your focus is. So let me show you exactly how this works in practice. So I have one of my clients who specialized in, her name is Tasha, she did Italy experiences. And so instead of just posting generic photos of, and I always have a hard time pronouncing it, Amalfi. I think I said that right. Amalfi Coast. She created content that was why most travelers experience the coast wrong and how clients can do it differently. The post detailed her strategic approach to timing, private access, and her local connections that she had so that she could create elevated experience. That single post alone generated 5 inquiries for her. So it's really about positioning your expertise with your unique value. Listen, what my analysis showed me after evaluating these advisors is that there are really 3 types of content that consistently convert. And so here's the first one, transformation content. These are posts that show before and after of working with you. So if you, whoever your who is, you want to contrast what a standard experience would look like if they hadn't worked with you, and then what it looks like after working with you, or sharing client specific stories. These are called case studies. What you do is you take it to, so if you're not so good at getting testimonials from your clients, which that's a whole nother training we could do, and you just worked with the client and you can create your own case studies based on what was there, where did they start with you before they booked with you, right? So when you met with them in the discovery call, what was their problem? How did you address it? And then what was the outcome? So you don't always have to have somebody saying it. You can create your testimonial. You can create a case study based on you evaluating your interaction with your clients as well. Number 2, process content. So I am a big process person. This is why I do what I do. This is why I love working with you all, because I love documenting step 1 through, I love spreadsheets. I love business process flow diagrams. I love all that. And so you have a process by which you do something and you take it for granted. You take how you design trips and how you take somebody's dream and make it a reality. Well, there's a process that you follow to make that happen. And so what you do is you create content that's designed around that. You create posts that give people a glimpse into your unique planning process or your unique approach. And you may be thinking to yourself, but that's going to give my secret sauce away. I'm telling you, you can literally write out the sauce word for word, step by step. You could document it, you could videography it, and people still won't do it. Do you know why? Because people generally don't read, they don't listen, and they still want people to do it for you. I know that as a fact as a coach. I could tell you every step of the way, and you still aren't going to always do it. So by you just documenting or just giving people a glimpse of what it is that you do, what this does when people observe it is that it positions you as methodical and thorough, and it shows potential clients that you have a system for creating exceptional experiences. This content builds trust. When you show people that you have a way of doing a thing, it allows them naturally to believe, oh my God, she knows what she's talking about. You don't necessarily need 1,000 people to tell for you to show that you know what you're doing. You just need to talk about what you're doing to show people that you know what you're doing. Hopefully that makes sense. A lot of times people are like, what? I'm like, you just need to talk about the fact that you know what you're doing and show them through the process demonstration that you do. I love process documentation or posts that demonstrate this. And then the third type of content is called positioning content. This is the posts that clearly define who you work with. So if you work with family and you're looking for families that want a luxury experience, you create content around that. You talk about what your ideal client looks like. You talk about the fact that you just met with your ideal client and what you loved about that ideal client and what you did for that ideal client. This type of content, it includes content that talks about them, their challenges, how you help them overcome them, and specific results that you've delivered for them. And so this kind of content, it attracts and it attracts the people who are aligned with it. I don't know why that magic works, but it does. But those that, when you talk about who your client is, those that don't fit that, they know that they don't fit in, right? I remember, this is pretty funny to me. I remember I did a live some years ago and somebody told me that, this is like hearsay. In my live, I said, if you don't like systems or you don't like process, you don't need to listen. And this other person told me, she's like, yeah, she watched one of your trainings and she didn't go with you because she doesn't like systems. And I was like, well, then that's exactly what I want. Like, if you don't like structure and if you want to get rich, like, I'm not the right coach for you. I'm not the right trainer for you. So I tell people exactly what you can expect from me and the kind of clients that I'm looking for. And you need to do the same thing. That's what positioning content does for you. All right. And so, like, if you have any questions, please answer them. And when I get done, I will go through them here. So here's what a strategic content plan looks like. Step one, define your content pillars. You're like, what's a content pillar, right? A content pillar really is 3 to 4 themes that showcase your expertise and your unique value. Where I will help you help yourself is, if you don't know what those content pillars are, ChatGPT, Claude, right? Putting your ideal client into Claude or ChatGPT and say, I need to come up with 3 to 4 themes that will showcase my expertise and here's my ideal client. This is going to help you identify the areas that you need to be talking about for your client that's going to showcase your expertise. I don't even really need to go in that. Just take that problem to ChatGPT and it's going to help you solve it. Step 2 is create a simple content calendar that rotates through these pillars. 1 strategic post per week is enough. That's it. So whatever your 3 to 4 pillars are, you want to do a strategic post around those pillars. Focus on quality over quantity. Number 3 is repurpose strategically. Let me give you an example of that. I told you I don't like video. We literally do a video short a day. And the reason why I post daily is because I am trying to win the YouTube award. So we just started this probably about 3 months ago. And so we post 5 times, and this is the first time I would say in like years that we post daily. But that's because I am playing the YouTube algorithm. But how do we create 5 shorts? I take 1 long video, I run it through Opus AI. My VA does it. She runs this video today will get run through Opus AI and it creates 15 shorts for us. She does some magic graphically and then she released them. We SEO them, we do some other stuff and we repurpose it. So I'm not taking the same content and I'm not creating 5 shorts. I'm repurposing the content that I already have. This video that I do today, we could turn it into a blog post and talk all about all of these steps that I'm talking about. And that could be a blog post. I could take this same video and then I could create an email that sends the video out to my email list. I could take this content that is in this video and create 5 different post series, 5 different images from this. So what we do is we do it once and we create multiple pieces of information out of it. So that one post that I said to create a strategic post, turn it into a blog. Well, how do you do that? Use AI to do it, right? Take this post, this pillar, I'm going to create it, ask it to create a social post for you, right? Take it, that same post, create a blog for you, create a LinkedIn post, right? Create a short video if that's what you want to do. The idea is to take one piece of core content and adapt it to different platforms rather than creating unique content per platform. This maximizes your time. I don't like doing videos, so I commit to my team to do one video per week, and they create umpteenth pieces of content for that video, right? And so that's how you get super strategic on here. So what I want to do is I want to stop sharing that poll, and let's do our next poll. So our next poll is, what is your biggest content creation challenge? I think I got a question. So Maria Rose, hopefully I answered that question, how to sell yourself as an expertise. What does this look like as a post? Hopefully Sherry, I answered that too in my examples. So we're almost at 50% and we are there. All right, so here are the results. So 43% of you said your challenge with content is converting followers to clients. Okay. So here is some things for you to consider. Most of you, so 43, and then the close second was knowing what to post. So for those, I'm going to start backwards, and then the least one is finding time to create content, right? Because you got it. Content is a powerful marketing item. It's a powerful way to relate and engage with people. So it's got to be part of the mix. So you've got to find the time. I absolutely recommend blocking. So let's talk about the second biggest one, which is knowing to post. So I just gave you that in terms of an answer. So if you create your content pillars, then you don't have to worry about what to post, because now you know these are the themes of things that you're going to post about, right? So content pillars are super important. I'm a big proponent of themes and understanding. I'm going to talk about this thing this month, and based on this thing, I break that theme out into weekly content topics every week. And then that's what I've done. I've done that for years. And that has really allowed me to get over the what do I need to talk about. Now, this idea of how to convert followers to clients is, one, you've got to get the followers off the platform of choice, right? So if you want to convert them into clients, you've got to ask them to take an action that's going to get them off of their platform that they're in. If they're in your email, then you've got to ask them to do an action. What is that? What is your client getting actions that you do? Is it discovery calls? Is it travel requests? Is it group trips? Is it events? What is the action? So you need an event to get, or a thing to ask for, and then you need to be in the habit of asking for them. So here are a couple of objections that I traditionally get from advisors is, but won't posting less frequently hurt my visibility and algorithmic performance? So for those of you who don't know what the algorithm is, Facebook has code. Algorithm is just code that's written by the different social media platforms that allow to meter how information gets delivered to the users of those platforms. Facebook has a huge algorithm. He spends, much man hours and many dollars on perfecting that algorithm. And what you will find is that you are a victim of the algorithm. And so if you're posting content, particularly this branch up content, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to burst your bubble here. If you're posting branch up content and you aren't getting much traction with that, that's because Facebook is blocking it. Facebook knows that it's the same content being posted everywhere. That code is designed to block it. They only have a certain amount of, they have like 2.5 billion users on the platform. And I think I read that Facebook only, they get millions of submissions or people posting per day. And they only have a small number. I don't remember the exact number, but in my mind, it's like 1 million posts that will actually get fed through to the news feed. That means they're squashing a lot of content. And if you're posting generic content, it's not going to get visible anyway. It's just not going to get delivered. So it's not that you've got to do more content. the algorithm and the code rewards high engagement quality content. So if you're posting content that isn't getting engagement, people is the same across that is being posted as other people, it's not doing you any good. So it's not that you need more, you need better quality. You need content that is actually going to connect. I'm going to also give you a little bit of a secret. If you got a bunch of people on your, and Facebook is your jam, and you've got a bunch of people on your Facebook page that aren't your jam, that aren't your ideal client and aren't interacting, this is the time to start to like reduce the number of people on and start accepting people on your Facebook page that actually are your jam, like the people who are the people that will respond to it. When I learned this last year, I was like, what? Right? So like, I just started unfriending people because I don't use Facebook. I don't use any social media for personal. It's all for business. And so if you want to get more visible with your content, you've got to create content that is going to connect with your ideal client. And so you've got to create content that your ideal client cares about. And you also got to get your client, your ideal client onto your personal page, your business page, so that they can engage with it. Does that make sense? Like there's a whole system by which you need to do that. The number 2 objection that I get is that I see other successful advisors posting daily. Aren't they getting results from this approach? And the big difference between those looking for success on social media and actually being profitable is this. Just because they seem successful doesn't mean that they're converting. So they may have a high number of people. That doesn't mean that they're converting those people into clients, right? So seeing someone's volume, followers, seeing their likes doesn't necessarily equate to a successful business. So don't judge a book solely by the cover. What you really want to understand is how many people are actually on their trips, right? How many times do you see them saying that their trips are sold out? That's an indicator of their success. And frankly, what I would say is stop worrying about what other people are doing and get yourself doing the right thing. And the right thing is creating content that's valuable to your who. So whoever it is, create content that they care about so that they can connect with it. And then the last major objection that I get is that I don't know what to post. If I'm not sharing destination photos and general travel tips, what do I post? And that's exactly why most content fails to convert, is that it's focusing on destination rather than expertise, rather than showcasing you, right? And so you're like, well, I don't want to talk about me. I don't want to be the center of attention. And your business works with you. Like, that's just the way it is. Your business works with you. And so you are the center of the attention. People are going to fall in love with you. And so if you aren't talking about how you do you are amazing at what you do, no one will know. They're not going to magically know that you're the mom.com. You got to talk about it. And so you got to talk about what your process is. You got to talk about the type of client that you work with. So this is a shift that you've got to make so you can stop thinking like a content creator and start thinking like a CEO. You use content strategically, not because you don't have anything to do. Now, if you are a content creator and that's what you want to do, that's good, but that's not what I'm talking about. What you want to start asking yourself is, what pretty, instead of asking yourself like, oh, I need to share a pretty photo today, you need to ask yourself, what can I share that demonstrates why clients need me? You want to ask yourself, like, what should I post? Like, if I post myself in Dubai or fill in the blank destination, I'm asking myself, how can I connect that to a travel advisor and why they need me as a coach or a trainer or whatever, right? Same thing for you. Whoever your ideal client is, you need to consider breaking down how you transformed a standard itinerary into something exceptional. Maybe a behind the scenes on how you got to this photo, your planning process, a specific challenge or that you've solved for a client, right? These are the ways that you do this. Comparison of sort of a run-of-the-mill approach versus your unique approach on doing something. This is how you demonstrate expertise in the business. All right. I'm going to open it up for questions. And my eye has been bothering me the last couple of days. I feel like I hope I'm not getting like something. Like I put a bunch of, stop because my eye is like really hurting. All right, so are there any questions that you guys have? Put them in the comments, and then I'm going to go over a couple of questions that I get as common questions. How do I create strategic content if I'm not naturally a writer or a content creator? This is like the number one question that I get all of the time. And then what I will say is what we are is organized. To be a good travel advisor, you have to be organized. You dot your I's, you cross your T's, and you are accustomed to capturing everything, right? So what I would tell you is focus on documenting rather than creating. Share your actual processes, insights from recent bookings or specific challenges you've solved. And you guys solve a lot of problems. You solve a lot of stuff, more stuff than you even think about. So this approach feels more authentic to your watchers and requires less creative energy. You don't have to think about it, right? Just think about the last 5 clients that you worked with and what did you do for them? What did you do? What problems? Because everybody has a problem that you've got to solve. What did you do? How did you do this? So this is really a good way to start here. So somebody asked, what if you don't have a niche yet? I known to book group cruises, but anyone can book their cruise. So Cynthia, I would say you've got to start with your who. So this is going to be a continued problem for you if you don't have a who. If you're just doing general bookings, you don't have a who in mind, this is a very difficult problem to solve because you're trying to talk to everybody. And frankly, you probably don't want to work with everybody. So I've got an entire set of a series of videos that I've done. You could search on YouTube about niche and the power of niching and why you need to niche as a travel advisor. My recommendation is absolutely stop trying to fit your content into a general, identify your who, and then create content around that. The second question, my second most popular question I get is how do I balance creating strategic content with other business activities or my full-time job? And what I will tell you is the beauty of this approach is that this requires less time because I noticed I didn't say that you need to post 5 times a day. What I really said is that you need to focus on being strategic around what you post. So what I do is, and I just actually finished this for Q2, is I sat down, I blocked 2 to 3 hours. It's usually on a Sunday afternoon. And I blocked 2 to 3 hours to plan the quarter. Like I don't, my original, I used to do it weekly. I plan the quarter. I plan out all my titles. I plan out what I'm going to do. And then what I will do during the week is I will then plan out my outline. I'll plan out my script. I'll plan out what I'm going to write about. But the titles, the theme, all of that, I do that in a block. I usually do it right at the end of the quarter. So ladies and gents, I already have all 12 of the episodes for season 2, right? I already know what I'm going to talk about. The team right now is already working on all the graphics. So I don't have to think about it because I'm not the kind of person that works well with like coming up. Like I used to have a friend, she used to be my business bestie, but she really is now just my bestie. And she like could do video on the fly. She would think of a video and she would press record and she would do that. And every time I did that, like I felt like I wanted to throw up. Like I am not good in just-in-time delivery of content, writing something, video, and all that. I need all the prep work that I can get. So what I have found is blocking that 2 to 3 hours in advance, thinking of the titles, the themes, and all of that ensures that I get it done. There's no question. And now we have a team that like they know what the script is. I'm going to deliver them video once a week. I download it. I don't even have to download it now. They know where to go to download it and then they do their work because of that. You may not be there, but what I will tell you is creating a system by which you create the content so that you're set up for success is great. I will also tell you, I hate videoing so much that I have to have a dedicated space. I just got my green screen, right? And I got it on the thing. So now I don't even have to worry about like, I just pull it down now. I've got the cameras. Like I test it so much that I will have any excuse under the sun, moon, and earth not to do it. So now I don't have it because everything is set up. The titles are there. What I'm going to talk about is there. The environment is set up. The tripod is already here. Just got to plop my phone into it. I have no reason not to do it, right? Because it's so effective when you do it. All right, let's see if I missed any questions. No. Perfect. All right. All right, last question is, what about trending topics and timely content? Should I ignore these opportunities? Absolutely not. You should not ignore them, but you should do them strategically. So what I always tell people is, when it comes to content, is that if there's something that's trending, something that is exciting, don't just repost it. Even if you use someone else's content, right? You forward a blog post or something that's interesting. You are an expert. And as an expert, you should always have an opinion. You should always add your own insight, your own specific commentary that goes along with the trending topic or the share that you're doing, because you are a travel expert. So you should never just forward something or use something and not have an opinion about it, right? Because that is how you stand out. If let's say there's a destination that's trending, and because there's a new attraction, right? Maybe a new property or whatever. Don't just share that it exists. Nobody cares, right? You share your insider perspective. You talk about the best time to visit that property, how to avoid the crowds, or how it compares to similar experiences. This is how you leverage the trend while actually positioning yourself as an expert. All right. If there are any other questions, do not hesitate to is your challenge for the week. What I want you to do is, I want you to take, let me make sure I got it. Awesome, Cynthia. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Today's 15-minute power shift is as follows. I want you really to transform your content approach. So this isn't about you overhauling your entire strategy. This is about making one decisive shift that will immediately improve the way that you do content and its ability to convert. So I want you to pick your most popular destination or service that you have. And then I want you to create one strategic post that showcases your unique expertise for this destination. So pick any destination that you love. I want you to pick the destination, but don't tell me about the destination. I want you to apply how you and your expertise make this destination amazing for your ideal client. So not just why someone should visit, but why they should book it through you specifically. Include at least one specific example of how your approach differs from standard bookings, methods, or self-planning. This shouldn't take you more than 15 minutes, but it will immediately start to help you shift how you think about content creation. Instead of showcasing destinations, you should be showcasing your irreplaceable value. Then, if you feel so inclined, come inside of the Travel CEO community, put in hashtag strategic content TCS, which stands for the CEO session. And you can tag my name on it. So if you're in the community, make sure you want me to look at it. You got to tag my name on it, Sunday Gardner. I'm on there and I should come up here. This is a simple shift from destination focused to expertise focused content. And it just takes you to make the decision on that. But listen, what I want to tell you guys is that before we wrap up, I have a really exciting announcement. We are done with season 1. We did it. This is a shorter season than our normal seasons, but we are done. This is our last episode, and I am thrilled about the feedback that I've gotten from you all. I'm excited about you guys' transformation that you guys have shared with me, and we've covered a lot in this last 7 weeks, but now it's time for you guys to put these strategies together. So during my hiatus, I have created a free challenge, and this is the first time I've ever done this challenge, so I'm super excited about it. It's called our Premium Client Challenge. So starting Sunday, I'm launching a 3-week implementation challenge. And when I say implementation, this is not about you just getting a bunch of emails from me and you like, oh, this is nice to have. This is action. So what I designed this challenge to do is to help you attract high value clients who appreciate your expertise. So this challenge will guide you step by step through implementing one of 7 proven client acquisition strategies that have helped travel advisors, not only in my community, but travel advisors. And even, I learned these outside of travel, but this is really about helping you increase your booking value. So here's an overview of what you can expect in the challenge. This is each week, I'm going to release 3 short implementation videos. I'm going to release them on Sunday, Tuesdays and Thursdays that will walk you through a specific phase of attracting premium clients. So week one, it starts on Sunday. Week one, we're going to choose and plan your strategy. So I'm going to go over the 7 strategies. Week 2, you're going to create and prepare your approach. And then 3, you're going to launch it and you're going to optimize your results. So to support your implementation, I've created a resource that you will get once you sign up for the challenge, and it's called the Premium Client Acquisition Guide. This is free for you all as long as you sign up. So this guide is going to outline the 7 proven strategies for attracting high value clients. The best part is that this is free. Did I already say it's free? So sign up for it. And then this is going to be happening in between the breaks. So our season 2 is going to start back April 23rd. So between now and the 23rd, you've got this challenge to do it. So to sign up for the challenge, you just need to go to, I was going to type it, but I don't think I have the time to type it. So I'm going to say it. It's onlinetravelboss.com/CEO-challenge. I'm going to say that one more time. onlinetravelboss.com/CEO- so that little dash challenge will get you the sign up form and registered for the challenge. So once you get registered, you'll get a welcome message from me, and we will start on Sunday. And then I will be delivering 21 emails to you on what to do, and then 3 videos a week that will tell you exactly what you need to do and be going through this week. Yes, can somebody do that? So onlinetravelboss.com. My does not preclude me to have the keyboard or in a way for me to get to it here. So you're going to get the guide. I'll deliver that to you. I don't know that we actually have the guide in the welcome email. So if you don't get it in the welcome email, I will absolutely make sure that you have it in our Sunday email. And then you're going to watch the first implementation video that's going to be released on Sunday. Complete each week's simple action steps and share your progress inside of the community. Thank you, Constance. I appreciate that. Thank you, Rhonda. I appreciate that. Thank you for putting it in the chat. So join the challenge. I'm not delivering it out to everyone. You have to register in order to be a part of this challenge. It is completely free. Cannot say that again. And this is designed to give you some quick wins that build momentum for our season 2. So I'm very excited about this. I actually love doing challenges with you all because it gives me an opportunity to talk to you guys and work with you all directly. Even though I come up to you guys live and you guys interact, the challenges really allow, me to have a little bit more one-on-one time or, kind of group time with everyone. And so I won't be coming live throughout the next 3 weeks, but you will be getting those videos from me directly. And if you are on YouTube, they'll also be released on YouTube. So we will be here, same bat channel, starting April 23rd, weekly at 12 p.m. starting April 23rd. Listen, I'm going to ask you guys if you have any comments or anything, but before we wrap up, I want to share something that is so near and dear to me. You guys are amazing. Travel advisors. I love the way that you guys are showing up in your business as CEOs. I love the energy that you guys have exhibited through the season, and I hope that you guys feel the same. Please fill out the survey that's available to you at the conclusion of this. I read every comment. And it's really, really important for me so that we can continue to deliver amazing content for each of you all. So if you guys want to, I do have time. I can open it up for questions if you guys want to come off mute, and I can answer some questions about today's topic if you'd like. If not, then I will let you go. So I'll give it a minute because there usually is a bit of a lag. Any questions?
Cindy, I have Sunday. I'm sorry.
Hey,
I have a question. It's not necessarily related to content. It's more on being Google verified. Do you see a benefit in that?
Absolutely. I do. It's a pain to get verified when you're an online business, but I do see the benefit for it because you show up in search results as a local business based on where, the process is it requires that you get a physical address. I use Regus to do that. And so my Regus office not too far from my house, but you show up in the search results locally. And so I do see a huge benefit from that.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. That was easy. Anybody else have any questions that they want to ask before we skedaddle? I got a few minutes. No? Are you signing up for the challenge? Is everyone going to sign up for the challenge?
I already signed up.
Love it. Thank you, Martin. Yes, Angela says yes. Brenda,
Absolutely.
Bell. I'm sorry, somebody said something.
Oh, I said I was absolutely going to sign up for the challenge.
Awesome. All right, Margot, nice to meet you. I think you're new to the community, so welcome. 313. It will be no problem, Marie. If you sign up, you'll get all the material and you'll have access to it. So great. Got a lot of yeses. Great. I look forward to seeing you guys there. So even though I won't be live, I will be in the group interacting with you all inside of the CEO community. All right. So ladies and for any gents that are watching, it has been a pleasure. We will see you officially in season 2, April 23rd. And until then, I'll see you inside a CEO community while we are working on our premium client attraction system. So I'll see you soon. You guys have a wonderful day. You are now equipped to position yourself as a high-value travel expert. Are you ready to fully implement these strategies? Join us inside of the Foundations program, which is now open for enrollment. And I want to thank you for joining this season's The Travel CEO Session. Here's to your success.